Hello and welcome to Lesson 9 of B.1, the Serengeti Unit. I'm Katie Easton, a high school science teacher using OpenSciEd. In this video, I will give an overview of Lesson 9 and wrap up with some tips and tricks. Lesson 9 is important because we learn about how humans interact with the Serengeti ecosystem. We learn about a proposal to build a road system in the Serengeti and evaluate 3 possible routes and make a recommendation. First, let's recap how we got to Lesson 9. During Lesson 8, we used the SAGE modeler as a computational model to help us visualize and figure out that biodiversity within an ecosystem leads to greater stability and resilience of the ecosystem when and if a disturbance occurs. We gathered information about 8 different organisms and their interactions and developed a model that included mechanisms and mathematical representations of relationships. We figured out that wildebeest is a keystone species and their migration supports the biodiversity across the entire Serengeti. We decided we wanted to investigate the role of humans on the Serengeti, which leads us to Lesson 9, where we're wondering, how do humans interact with the Serengeti ecosystem? Let's take a look at some highlights of Lesson 9. Lesson 9 takes 3 45-minute days. It involves an investigation using interest holder cards and road proposal cards to evaluate a proposal to build a road in the Serengeti. The 30 minutes of material preparation listed here is to make copies of the needed cards and handouts. Though, if you have an OSC kit, the cards may already be pre-printed, so your prep time will be even less. Students do not need to use their individual devices, but you can use individual devices for the cards and/or the organizers and evaluation handouts using digital copies. I use digital copies of the road proposal organizer and road proposal evaluation documents and printed out and laminated copies of the interest holder cards and the road proposal cards. I made 2 sets per table of the interest holder cards and 1 set per table of the road proposal cards. You will use the interview video in part 3 on day 1, so you may want to preview the video and have it queued up and ready to show. There are 3 big chunks in this lesson. Let's discuss what's happening in each. The first lesson chunk is explored on day 1. Students watch and discuss a video from Dr. Maduma discussing different interest holders who have had a connection to the Serengeti. We discuss these 3 different interest holders and their interactions with the Serengeti and its components and add our ideas to our SAGE modeler printouts from Lesson 8. We revisit the conservation plan on the Serengeti from Lesson 2 and discuss how the plan affected the interest holders. We figure out that the Serengeti National Park was established to protect the wildebeest migration and the stability of the system. But in this process, some humans were harmed, some were benefited, and not all human connections in the system are stable. We begin to wonder if the conservation plan on the Serengeti will survive forever, or if a disturbance of human involvement will cause issues in the future. This leads us to our next making sense loop when we learn about a road proposal, a human-made disturbance in the Serengeti. The second lesson chunk occurs on day 2. Students learn about a proposal to build a paved road to connect the east and west sides of the Serengeti National Park. Students discuss possible impacts on the road on the ecosystem, wildebeest carrying capacity, and biodiversity and resilience of the system. Students learn about different interest holders' opinions about the proposed road and explore 3 possible options for the road. And we figure out that successful conservation that supports a stable ecosystem also involves relationships between the conservation manager and the broader community. Upon evaluating these different proposals, students begin to wonder how to weigh ecosystem impacts and interest holder impacts to make a decision on the best option for all concerned parties. This leads us to our next sense-making loop, when students will individually evaluate which road proposal they think is the best option. The third lesson chunk occurs on day 3. Today, students make individual claims on which road they feel is the best option for Tanzania. They provide evidence to back up their claims and discover that there are numerous short and long-term consequences that interest holders need to consider when making conservation decisions. Upon completion of the individual assessments, students begin to wonder about their original conservation profiles from Lesson 1, the Saguaro, Lake Michigan, the Hoh River, and the Everglades, and how future disturbances may affect those areas. This leads us into Lesson 10, when students will learn about conservation plans that are or will be in effect, their original conservation profiles from Lesson 1. So in summary, on day 1 of Lesson 9, students are introduced to human interactions on the Serengeti and how they affect and are affected by the Serengeti National Park. Then on day 2, students discover that there are 3 different options for building a road in Tanzania and figure out that successful conservation needs to involve the broader community. Finally, on day 3, students assess the 3 road proposals and conclude that there are numerous short and long-term consequences that interest holders need to consider when making conservation decisions. Let's take a look at the key moments in Lesson 9. One of the key moments of Lesson 9 is revising class consensus models in Part 4. Although this is a short blurb in the teacher edition, this part of Lesson 9 ends up being one of the most important I have found. After learning about different interest holders in Dr. Maduma's video and having a discussion about these interest holders, I leave students alone with their SAGE model or printouts from Lesson 8 to add human interactions to their mind maps with whatever interactions and whatever component they feel is important. Allowing students to express their ideas using multiple modalities supports student ownership of their learning by giving students choice, access, and control in navigating their own understanding about the science ideas. This part of the lesson to think about and to put themselves in other people's shoes and decide what their interest holders find important will help them to evaluate disturbances in later lessons. In Part 8, we are introduced to interest holders talking about the road system through the Serengeti. This is a key moment in our lesson because it gives the students differing perspectives and allows them time to empathize with the needs of different interest holders. I have found that with my students, the idea that a road would affect animals and the migration greatly outweighs any chance of building a road until they watch this video and they hear real people talking about how a road system would help them. It isn't until I start listening to the discussion centered around the interest holder cards that students start realizing that there are many different aspects that need to be considered before making a decision about building infrastructure in Tanzania. The students still have a desire to save nature, but they begin to discuss and debate with each other the importance that a road brings to the people of the area. It is this discussion that students begin to evaluate nature versus human gain. Part 10 holds another key moment in this lesson. Students are introduced to the 3 road proposals for Tanzania. They use a graphic organizer to keep record of their own individual ideas and thoughts and are able to discuss those ideas with their group mates. Allowing students to discuss the road proposals together allows the students to gain their other perspectives when discussing the 3 road proposals. It also gives them practice to use evidence to persuade other students to their thinking, which will lead into our eventual personal evaluations and assessments of the road proposals. In Part 14, students get practice in making a claim and providing evidence and reasoning for the claim. Students are, in a sense, summing up their own conclusions from group discussions. I tell them to persuade me to their line of thought on which road is the best option. Eventually, they will use this same skill in the unit assessment at a later date. So this part of the lesson is a key point to practice this evaluative skill, as well as the feedback that they receive. I do give them immense feedback on this part of the lesson to prep them for the unit transfer task, but I'll talk about the feedback I give more in the tips and tricks section. At the end of Lesson 9, we reflect on Serengeti National Park. While parts of the Serengeti ecosystem have been protected for over 70 years, how and what is protected can change as the components of the local and global systems change. Much like we've seen with this road proposal in the Serengeti, our original profiles from Lesson 1 can also be changed. We think about what disturbances might happen in the Everglades, the Hoh River, the Lake Michigan, and the Saguaro Desert that could impact those systems. Let's talk about some helpful strategies for Lesson 9. I wanted to touch back on Part 14 and the individual assessment piece, as this is meaningful prep for the unit transfer task. I always preface this activity that they do not have to choose the same road as their group discussed, as long as they're providing evidence and reasoning why they recommended a certain road proposal. I tell them to persuade me. The practice of the claim, evidence, and reasoning is great for students in this activity, but the feedback from the teacher is paramount. I spend a lot of time on providing feedback for this activity. I find the claim and tie it back whether the evidence and reasoning support the claim made by the student. I use different highlighting colors to point out the issues. The students have said this helps them to see that their evidence is or is not supporting their thoughts. My students tend to be long-winded, and it gets them in trouble when they start to embellish. I will use strike through and leave comments how they added information that's not necessary or it distracts the reader from their intent. The feedback for students on this assignment will greatly help them in the transfer task, that I spend almost an entire class period having them look over the comments I leave, and I allow them to make changes before I use this assignment as a grade in our gradebook. It takes time to write out so much feedback, and I lose a day allowing them to go over it, but the students have told me this particular activity is an eye-opener and to what is meant by using evidence and reasoning to support a claim. Although this is not actually a tip or a trick, it is interesting to note that a hotel was built on the border of Tanzania and Kenya in the Masai Mara Preserve in the fall of 2025. As we see on our maps of the Serengeti National Park, this preserve is part of the bigger park and directly on the wildebeest migration route on the northern end. It would be interesting to allow the students a day to research the controversy this human decision has made between conservationists and the hotel corporations. I haven't used it yet, but I am planning on using this new information next year as an extension activity to lead into Lesson 10. This would be a great research and extra claim evidence and reasoning practice after the kids have received my feedback on their original individual assessment. Having them research the controversy on their own to find good evidence to support whether they believe the human gains outweigh the potential disturbances to the ecosystem and the migration could give the students an added benefit of learning how to find reliable evidence. I won't spend more than a day and a half on this additional activity to allow for a good 20-minute discussion on what the students found out and how they feel about the situation. Although we do not co-construct new words, we do revisit a few: criteria, nature-culture relations, and conservation plan in Lesson 9. We also talk about stakeholders being rooted in colonialism and could be viewed as offensive, so instead we use interest holders. There are no posters created during this lesson, but we do use a printed version of our SAGE modeler models from Lesson 8 to add in humans. Well, this is Lesson 9 in a nutshell. Finding time to provide relevant feedback on the individual assessments of the roads can be stressful, but know that it is helping the students and they remember this activity the most as they begin to see how to use evidence and reasoning to support their claims. I hope you find this helpful and you join us again for Lesson 10, where students return to our conservation plans from Lesson 1 and discuss impacts on those systems. Thank you.